Hi, I'm Bill and welcome to my channel, Astro Vagabond. This video is sharing how I'm going about making a decision of which automation software I should use. And it'll be a combination of slides, and then I'll share some actual screen views of three packages that I'm currently considering, and as well as why I'm considering them. The first thing is, what do I need the software to do for me? So that was my starting point. I have a equatorial mount, so I needed to control my HEQ5 Pro SynScan mount. Now, I can continue to use the hand controller that's part of my HEQ5, but I would prefer to eliminate that. And I'll do a video on how I'm going about that process later. Also, I need software to control my Canon 6D DSLR, and by controlling it, I need the software to help do several things, which I'll discuss in later slides. I need software to do a polar alignment, so I'm not going to discuss that in this video. I purchased the QHY PoleMaster. I'll do a separate video on that. I already have one video up on polar alignment. I'll put a link or a card so you can find that one. The other thing I need the automation software to do is what's called plate solving. I'll touch on that in a minute. I won't go real deep, but I'll touch on it. And then I'll need the software to do auto guiding. So I'll need software that can handle that. And then I need automation software that can handle dithering. So again, the polar alignment, I'm not going to go too much about that. I've got another video, but essentially you have to orient your right ascension axis on your equatorial mount with the celestial, the north celestial pole, if you're in the northern hemisphere like I am. And again, I'll put a card pointing to this video on polar alignment. But plate solving, this is one thing that I would like the automation software to do. I'll be doing a video around plate solving once I'm actually up and running with the automation software I've selected, and we'll dig into that. But basically, plate solving is a process whereby you can slew your mount to an object, and then the software, the plate solving software, can take a look at the pattern of the stars and can help center your object in the center of your field of view of your telescope, as I understand it. Again, I'm a beginner, so these are new concepts to me, but I'll be learning about them. So, you know, there's several plate solving software pieces out there that you can use, and I'll go into that when I do a plate solving video. Auto guiding, again, this is, you don't have to guide. You can use your mount without auto guiding, but if you do want to move into auto guiding, you're going to need a guide scope, a guide camera, and then most people, or many people, use PhD2 as the auto guiding software. I'll make a video when I get into that phase of the process of getting to data acquisition, but it helps make corrections and sends information to your mount, so it can make tiny corrections based upon the guide scope tracking what's called a guide star that may be near or within the field of view of your telescope. And then dithering is simply a method whereby you can help eliminate some noise that's natural to your cameras, electronics, and again, when I get into that phase, I'll share more information as I learn about dithering and actually execute the process and see the results of enabling dithering. But definitely plate solving, autoguiding, and dithering are three things you want to, I think, consider early on. Not so much that you will do it right away, but what I've done is I've built a roadmap of how I am going to progress over time, and clearly plate solving, auto guiding, and dithering are three abilities on my roadmap that I want to be able to execute and become proficient at over time. And then, of course, the telescope mount and control software for, again, I would like to eliminate the hand controller that comes with my mount. So there is software that enables me to eliminate the hand controller, and I'll go into that when I get into that phase of the process. And then some things you want your camera control software to do. You want assistance with focus. You're going to be setting a scheme of exposures that you're going to want to execute. So let's say you're going to want 30 exposures of 30 seconds. Then you're going to want to take your calibration frames. Your camera control software within the automation package will enable and help with these types of tasks. So just a quick review of my astrophotography gear. Again, I have the HEQ5 equatorial mount, the Canon 6D DSLR. It's not Astro modified. I'll do a video on that in the future. And then I have the William Optics Zenithstar 61, the William Optics Z61 adjustable field flattener. I have a video on that. I'll put a card in. And then for my guiding, I have the William Optics UniGuide 32 millimeter guide scope, and I paired that with the ZWO ASI 120 mini monochrome camera. And then I just added the QHY Polemaster. I'm excited about that. And then my portable power right now is a Jackery Power Station Explorer 240, and I have a dew heater for my main telescope, but not one yet for my guide scope. So I just want to kind of set the foundation. So when I'm looking at an automation software, these are the components that in part I want that automation software to handle, and in some cases control. So here are the software packages that I have been researching. The EQ mod is essentially just a driver base foundation that you need to have in place for some of these other pieces of software to interoperate with. So I'm not going to go into EQ mod, but I own a copy of BackyardEOS. I don't want to say it's simple because that would be negative. It's less complex than Astrophotography Tool and Sequence Generator Pro, and I'm going to share some screen displays of those tools in a moment. And BackyardEOS does work with auto guiding software and also plate solving software. But anyway, these are the things that I've been looking at. There's a lot of other automation packages out there that you can research. So I think that's okay. So let's get out of here and let's go on to my laptop. And okay, so I just remote desktop into my laptop. My configuration is going to be my laptop will be outside next to where the mount and scope are located, and then I'll use that laptop when I'm outside to get the basic configuration in place, get the telescope focused, and start the process of data acquisition, and then I'll come inside into the warm and comfort of my home and view those things via a remote desktop. So let's just kind of go through a couple of show you the UI of a couple of different tools. We'll start with BackyardEOS. I own a licensed copy of this. It was $35, I believe. And then up here, I'm going to turn off the night vision for this demo. And again, I want to say this UI, I'm okay with the UI. I've used it a couple of times where I was manually positioning my DSLR with a Rokinon lens. And this is a nice piece of software. You know, maybe you don't want to go complex when you're first starting out. But one of the decisions I have to make is today I have a DSLR. My roadmap calls for later in 2021 to move to a dedicated Astro monochrome camera. And when I make that move, Backyard EOS is no longer going to be a solution for me. So let me turn on my my camera and see if we can share a little bit of the views here. All right, I think my camera's on. Let's see if we can connect. And when you start up BackyardEOS, it has an option for older cameras versus newer. I fall into the newer after 2008. And, you know, I consider this a very clean interface. Again, I used it for several imaging sessions when I was manually positioning my camera on a tripod. It's really a nice piece of software, and if I was not going to move to a dedicated Astrocam down the road, I might just stick with this initially. And this may be where I land, and for my initial data acquisition, this may be it. So let's see frame and focus. Okay, so this is kind of the view. I just have my DSLR with a manual Rokinon lens on it, but this gives you a feel of kind of what you see here. You have a 5x option where you can, I think I can zoom in, maybe, yeah, there we go, where you can zoom in or zoom out. And then there's some values here that will assist you with your focusing. It shows you how the camera is currently set in bulb mode with a 1600 ISO for my Canon 6D. And then if we come back over to the imaging side, what you see down in this corner here is where you would set your sequence of light frames and what the duration would be in time and those type of things. And then you'd have your darks, and you would set up your imaging sequence here for the different types of frames that you need to collect. Again, a real nice piece of software. I think it cost me $35, which I thought was very reasonable for the value it provided. And maybe initially this is what I start with to try to keep things simple since I'm just starting out. I'm a beginner. So that's Backyard EOS. Now I'm going to fire up Astro Photography Tool. And that little ping has detected my camera. It gives you a little checklist here upon opening it up, and I think you can create checklists within this tool, which might be of interest to you. I'm a very checklist-driven person, so I kind of found that attractive. So we'll cancel that out. We'll see if we can't move this over and move this over a little bit. And again, there's just something about this interface that I don't like. I'm sure it's very functional. Many people use it. I'm sure that if I spent the time getting familiar with it, it would get the job done. But maybe I'm looking for more of a Windows interface. But and maybe I just need to take some more time to explore. My trial version on this has expired. It's only, I think, 18.5 euros per year, roughly 21 US. Interfaces with plate solvers, it interfaces with D2 guiding, which I have loaded here. So a lot of people use this tool. I think Astro Backyard uses this tool. So it will get the job done. And, you know, just something about the interface that doesn't set well with me. But I still may land on this. There's trade-offs in all your decisions. So this is Astro Photography Tool. I'm gonna, yeah, okay. And then there's Sequence Generator Pro. So I just downloaded this today, so my 45-day trial has just started today. I'm hoping for some clear skies so I can get outside. And again, the main event, as you see here in the center, is again where you can set your sequences for the type of, you know, different types of frames that you want to collect. And I'm not using any filters because I don't have a filter wheel. No camera. That's interesting. My camera is on, but let's see if it detects it. Does it detect it? Again, I just downloaded, so I'm going to need some time. But basically, whether it's BackyardEOS, APT for Astrophotography Tools, you're going to set up an exposure sequence for your data acquisition. And each of the tools will let you do that, and then you can run your sequence. So as far as camera control, all three of these software packages will get the job done for me. In the longer run, however, unlike BackyardEOS, I can use dedicated Astro cameras, and where BackyardEOS will not allow that to happen. And again, there's some very cool stuff here in this package. The downside and is that there's a cost. It's $149 for the first year, and then $59 for each additional year. So what I need to do in this 45-day period is evaluate this package against APT and BackyardEOS. And again, because I want to move to an Astro camera and BackyardEOS cannot handle it, I don't think BackyardEOS has a long-term place in my roadmap, but it may be what I need to keep it simple and get up and running. So anyway, I just wanted to show three of the packages that I'm looking at. Again, there's other packages there, and I hope this is helpful to give you some idea on how I'm approaching what automated software package I should use. But again, right now, the upside from Sequence Generator Pro is I like this interface. It's more Windows-like, and a lot of icons here that I don't understand what they do yet. So I got a lot of work to do. First, I got to get up and start acquiring images, and then I have to acquire those images with each of these three different packages so I can help make the decision of which one I want to use. And again, because I want to move to a dedicated Astrocam, I think the comparison is really going to come down between APT, Astrophotography Tools, and Sequence Generator Pro. So anyway, I hope this type of information is helpful. If you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. I've shared with you what my equipment list is. I've shared with you what are the three automation packages I'm looking at, and I do that so you'll have some idea. If you continue to follow the channel and subscribe, you know what my focus is going to be as I move forward into the data acquisition phase. And then there's the whole data processing phase that I'll have to address at some point. But right now I'm in the checkout phase of understanding all my equipment and getting it properly aligned to the North Celestial Pole and those type of things, and then starting to think about which automation software package I'm going to use to execute the data acquisition phase. Again, if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. As always, I welcome new subscribers. I'm a beginner, but I welcome comments from more experienced people that can help me and other beginners that may be reading the comments get up the learning curve more quickly, and that's always appreciated. And again, it's the comments and questions that can really drive a channel and help other people learn in the process besides just me. So thanks for dropping in. Until next time.